How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Daf 78 of Masechet Nedarim, friends. Daf 78 talks about I don't know, what is it talking about? Nedarim and stuff. All right. So we're going to start in Daf Ayin Zayin Amud Beis 77 Amud 2, 3 lines from the bottom. Omer Rebbe Yochanan. It says Rebbe Yochanan. Chacham Shomer B'Lashon Baal, Baal Shomer B'Lashon Chacham. Ooh, wah. So a chacham, right, i.e. hataras nedarim, shomer b'lashon baal, that he says lashon hafareh. So if a fellow who's doing hataras nedarim says it b'lashon hafareh, u'baal shomer b'lashon chacham, or a husband who's being mayfair the wife of the vows of his wife, and he says lashon hatareh, which is hataras nedarim, so he's supposed to be doing hafaras nedarim, but he does hataras nedarim, lo amar klum, it's irrelevant. The Tana is we learn in the Brayso that when the pasuk says zeh adover, right? It says in the context of Nedarim, Zeh hadavar shetziva Hashem. It has to be done this way. So, a chacham matir ve'ein baal matir. That a chacham does a taras nedarim, a baal does not do taras nedarim. He does a forest nedarim. Sheyachul ma chacham she'ein mefer matir baal shemefer enudin shematir. Because I may have thought to say, you know what? A husband can oichet say hafaras nedarim, loshen hafara, because after all, if a what did I say? No, a Baal should oichet be able to say Ataras Nedarim, because if we look at a Chacham can only do Ataras Nedarim. He can't do Afaras Nedarim. He can only do Ataras Nedarim. A husband who can even do Afaras Nedarim, so I might think he should definitely be able to do Ataras Nedarim. So we say no, Zeh Adavar. A husband can only do Afaras Nedarim, not Ataras Nedarim. Tamalom is adavar. Chacham matir vein bal matir. A chacham does a taras nedarim. A husband does not do a taras nedarim. Tani idach. Now the opposite angle. Ze adavar bal mefer vein chacham mefer. That a husband does a faras nedarim, but a chacham only does a taras nedarim, not a faras nedarim. Shachol mabal she'ein matir mefer. So I think, well, a husband who's unable to do a Taras Nedarim, but he can do a Faras Nedarim, so Chacham Shematir, a Chacham, a sage who's able to do a Taras Nedarim, and Udin Shemefer, certainly should be able to do a Faras Nedarim. Tamalomer Ze'adavar, Baal Mefer, Bein Chacham Mefer. We say no, Ze'adavar, it has to be done punct this way, that a Baal does Hafaras Nedarim, not Hataras Nedarim, and a Chacham, a sage, does Hataras Nedarim, and not Hafaras Nedarim. Okay. Givaldik. Friends, so far you with me? Good, let's go weiter. Nemar kan ze adover, v'nemar loholon ze adover b'shchutei chutz. Oh, says the Gemara, that it says ze adover by Nedarim, and in Oich it says ze adover by shchutei chutz. Who could remind me what shchutei chutz is? Shchutei chutz is if a fellow slaughtered his makdash a korban, and he slaughters the korban outside of Yerushalayim. So that you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. So it says Ze'adavar by shchutei chutz, ma b'shchutei chutz ahar nuvana v'chol Yisrael. So just like by shchutei chutz, it says, what does the pasuk say? Daber laharon v'albana v'chol Yisrael v'amart lehem Ze'adavar asher tziva Hashem lemor. So we see by shchutei chutz, by slaughtering a sacrifice outside, by slaughtering kodshim outside of the temple. So Ze'adavar b'shchutei chutz, ma b'shchutei chutz ahar nevanav v'chol Yisrael, a parshas nedarim ahar nevanav v'chol Yisrael. So oichet, when it comes to nedarim, it's ahar nevanav v'chol Yisrael. Umakan Roshei Amatis hap laholon Roshei Amatis. Okay. So just like over here by nedarim, it's Roshei Amatis. That the do we say this now or do we say it later? But it needs to be the heads of the tribes, i.e. mumchin, experts. So also, when it comes to shchutei chutz, you also need Roshei Amatis. We're going to explain though. So, says the Gemara, when it says ahar nevanav v'chol Yisrael b'parshas nedarim lamai hilchasa. Right, so we said, it says ze'adavar by nedarim, and at oich it says ze'adavar by shchutei chutz. So by shchutei chutz, it says ahar nevanav v'chol Yisrael. So what implications does that have for Nedarim? So Amr v'acha bar Yaakov la'achshir shlosha adyotis, to say that by Hataras Nedarim, all you need is 3 regular people, right? You know, if you've been to a shul on Erev Rosh Hashanah, So you chop around 3 people, you say, sit down, don't move, and everybody goes and does Hataras Nedarim, 3 regular Tom, Dick, and Harrys. So that's learned out from Ahar Nuvanu V'chol Yisrael. That you can even use 3 Tom, Dick, and Harrys when it comes to Hataras Nedarim. V'ha Roshei Amatis Ksiv, but doesn't it say Roshei Amatis when it comes to Nedarim? That sounds like it has to be Mumchim. So Amar Rav Chizda v'Yitem Rabbi Yochanan b'Yochid Mumche. Well, it means that you can either do it with 1 expert judge would be enough, or 3 Tom, Dick, and Harrys. So Ahar Nuvanu V'chol Yisrael is to teach that you can do Hataras Nedarim with 3 Tom, Dicks, and Harrys, Toms, Dicks, and Harrys, and or alternatively 1 expert. Roshei Amatis b'Shchutei Chutz l'Me'elchasa. How come it says when it's so now when we apply Roshei Amatis, which is written by Nedarim, and we say, well, by way of Gzeir Shava, we're going to apply that oichet to Shchutei Chutz. So what does that mean? So Rav Sheishes says, Rav Sheishes Lomar, to say sheyesh she'ela behekdish, to teach that you can do Hataras Nedarim by hekdish. So if a fellow says, I'm going to bring this animal as a korban, and then he slaughters it outside of the Beis Hamikdash, so that's a problem. But he could do Hataras Nedarim. He could go and be matir the neder, and if you're matir the neder, so then it goes away milichatchila. Entirely, it's annulled. It goes away entirely. So mimele retroactively, it wasn't actually kodshim. So you could do Hataras Nedarim and it's kind of save yourself that way. Livei Shammai de Amrei. But what if you're Beis Shammai? Beis Shammai says that you can't do she'ela by hekdish. You can't do Hataras Nedarim when it comes to hekdish, and therefore, so then what do you learn out from Zeh Davar, which is written by Nedarim, that we learn via Gzeir Shaveh to Shchutei Chutz? Beis Shammai leizlu Gzeir Shaveh. Beis Shammai don't have that tradition of this Gzeir Shaveh from Shchutei, right, to teach the Adavar by Shchutei Chutz and by Nedarim, and therefore, even though it says Roshei Amatis by Nedarim, that doesn't have any nafkaminis for Shchutei Chutz. Fine. Ze Adavar b'Parshas Nedarim lemai ksiv. Why does it say Ze Adavar by Nedarim, as we learned earlier? Lomar, to say Chochom Mater vein Baal Mater, Davke Chochom. Right, who's doing Hataras Nedarim, he has to do Hataras Nedarim, but a husband doesn't do Hataras Nedarim for his wife, he does Hafaras Nedarim. Baal Mefer ben Chacham Mefer, and only a husband can do the construct of Hafaras Nedarim, whereas a Chacham does Hataras Nedarim, not Hafaras Nedarim. Ze'adavar b'Shchutei Chutz l'mai ksiv, and how come it says Ze'adavar by Shchutei Chutz? Lomar, to say ala shchita chayv in chayv ala malika, that shchutei chutz is a problem for slaughtering the animal outside of the temple, but not for using your fingernail to kill the animal. So if Beis Shammai does not hold of the Gzeir Shaveh between Nedarim and Shchutei Chutz, well then how does he know that by Hataras Nedarim you can have 3 Tom, Dicks, and Harrys? Toms, Dicks, and Harrys. Because we learned that out by Hataras Nedarim, well, because it says Ahar Nuvanu V'chol Yisrael by Shchutei Chutz, and we learn Gzeir Shaveh to apply oichet to Nedarim. So therefore, just like by Shchutei Chutz it says Ahar Nuvanu V'chol Yisrael, so oichet by Nedarim will apply Ahar Nuvanu V'chol Yisrael to say that you can have 3 Toms, Dicks, and Harrys. No, 3 Tom, Dick, and Harrys. 3 guys, one name is Tom, one name is Dick, the other one's name is Harry. So that applies to Nedarim as well. But if you don't hold it like Gzeir Shaveh, then how do Beis Shammai know that you can have Tom, Dick, and Harry do Hataras Nedarim? Be the Bezdin. Nafkalu midur ba'asi bar nosin dichsiv vaydaber Moshe meyadei Hashem b'nei Yisrael. That the pasuk says that Moshe spoke the festivals of the Eibishter to the Yidden. So that's a pasuk in Parshas more, I believe. V'atanya, we learn in the Brayso. Rabbi Yosef Glili Omer says, Rabbi Yosef Glili Mayadei ne'emru v'lo nemra Shabbos Breishis imoy. Now, so we learn in the Brayso that Rabbi Yosef Glili says that it says the festivals, but it doesn't say anything about Shabbos. over there. Says Ben Azai that it mentions the festivals, but it doesn't say anything about vows. Ravasi Bar Noson Kashle, but Ravasi Bar Noson doesn't understand because Hamasnisa also. Ravasi Bar Noson Kashle Hamasnisa. Ravasi Bar Noson didn't understand this brayso. So also in Nardoya, the Kavod of Sheshes. So he went to Nardoya to go to Rav Sheshes. V'lashkecha, he didn't find Rav Sheshes Darton. Also Abasrei the Mechoza. So he went to Mechoza to find Rav Sheshes. Omar Lei, and he says to Rav Sheshes, I don't understand. Mayade Hashem nemru v'lo nemru Shabbos Bereishis Simoin v'oksiv Shabbos Simoin. Friends, if you look up the pasuk, I think it's Parshas Emor, right at the beginning of that parsha, it talks about Shabbos. Right at the beginning of that parsha where it says, "Vaydav Moshe Mayade Hashem u'bnei Yisrael," it talks about Shabbos. V'su Mayade Hashem nemru v'lo nemru Parshas Nedarim v'anva mi sitra ksiva. And what do you mean by it says Mayad Hashem? It doesn't say anything about Nedarim. If you look in the Parsha Darton, right after it, it talks about Nedarim. So we have this brayso which says it's only talking about festivals. It's not talking about Shabbos. It's not talking about Nedarim. But if you look in the Chumash, it is Oichid talking about Shabbos. It is Oichid talking about Nedarim. So I don't understand this brayso, says Ravasi Bar Noson. Omar le Ochi Katone. So Rav Sheshes responds, this is what it's teaching. Me'adei Hashem tzrichin kiddush bezdin, Shabbos Bereishis ain't tzricha kiddush bezdin. It's what the Bryce is saying, that the festivals of the Eibishter are dependent on kiddush bezdin, right? Bezdin, whenever they decide which chodesh is, so that has nafkaminis for when the festivals are, right? Sukkot, for example, is the 15th day of Tishrei. So depending on when Rosh Hashanah falls out, 15 days later it's going to be Sukkot. So when the festivals fall out is dependent on Kiddush Bezdin. Whereas Shabbos is every 7 days no matter what. Every 7 days no matter what. Me'adei Hashem tzrichin mumche ve'in parshas nedarim tzrichin mumche afilu Bezdin hedyotis. And when it says, what's it saying? It's saying that the festivals of God need a mumche. I guess the Bezdin mumche, I guess to establish them on. Vein parshas nedarim tzrichin mumche, but being mater nedarim does not need experts. Even afilu Bezdin shel adiotis, even Tom, Dick, and Harry can serve as a bezdin. But I don't understand. It says by Nedarim Roshei Amatis, right? Experts. Yeah, you can either have 3 people who are Tom, Dick, and Harry, or you can have one expert. Friends, we'll stop here because we get into a new sugya, which is basically going to take us to the end of the parak, and pretty much the end of tomorrow's first Amud. So I think we'll stop here so that, that way we don't have to stop in the middle. So friends, that was Daf Ayin Ches of Masechta Nedarim. We talked about how a Chacham, right, by a Taras Nedarim it's Stavka HaTorah, by a Faras Nedarim it's Stavka HaForeh. We also learned that by a Taras Nedarim you can even Tom, Dick, and Harry, right? You can even have a Shalosh Adjotis by a Taras Nedarim. And Oichet, what else did we learn? It could be either one mumche or 3 hedjotis. Alright, that's very, very nice. Well, friends, that was Daf Ayin Zayin of Masechet Nedarim. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out. No. That was Daf Ayin Ches of Masechet Nedarim. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.